Hello, and welcome to Cosmic Nebula. So in today's video, I will be answering the very pressing question. Why does it seem like every woman only wants a man that is 6 foot or taller? Now, I'm answering this question as a woman who is 5 foot 11 inches tall or 180 centimeters tall. And if you didn't know, the average height for a man in the United States anyway is 5 foot 9 inches tall. So I am taller than the average man in the United States. So I will give you 4 reasons as to why women prefer tall men. Number 1, the first reason is because there is some biological aspect to women preferring taller men. I feel like we all know this. This is why nature saw fit to make sure the majority of men are taller than the majority of women. The average height for a woman in the United States, I believe, is 5 foot 3. The average height for a man in the United States is 5 foot 9. So there is generally a 6-inch gap between most men and most women. Although there are shorter men and there are taller women like me. So I feel like this is a point that most people don't have a big disagreement with or dispute with. And I would agree. Since most men are taller than most women, what the fuck does the problem seem to be? The second reason that most women these days seem to only want a man that is 6 foot tall is due to lack of awareness. And what kind of lack of awareness? Lack of awareness of men's strength in comparison to women's strength. So I hear a lot of women these days say, I want a man that's 6 foot tall so that he can protect me. But a lot of women don't realize is that every single man that is post-puberty on this earth is stronger than you are. You need to understand that. So if you are a woman, you are 5 foot 3, a 5 foot 3 man is much stronger than you are. Much stronger than you are. You need to understand that. A 5 foot 1 man is stronger than you. A man that is 4 foot 8 is stronger than you are. You need to understand that. Every male on this earth that is past the age of 13 when they start puberty is stronger than you are, for the most part. Are there some women that are stronger than some men? Yes. But the rule is the vast majority of post-pubescent males on this entire planet is stronger than the vast majority of post-pubescent females. Women need to understand that. So when you say things like, I want a man that can protect me, any man can protect you. Because unlike women, men are aware that men are strong. And because men are aware that men are strong, a man being present is enough of a deterrent for another man. Even if that man is short, it is enough of a deterrent for a much bigger man. If a man is a predator and he sees you and he has the intention to attack you, if he sees that another male is present there, he will be deterred from attacking you. It doesn't matter, oh, that guy, he's only 5 foot 2, I can take him. Men don't think like that. They would think, he is male, he surely has some strength and he has some ability to maybe overpower me, and then they would back the fuck off. So I think that is really dumb that women have this idea that short men are not strong. Every single man on this fucking planet is stronger than almost every single woman on this fucking planet. And I wish a lot of women would live in reality and learn that. And I feel like it's not necessarily 100% women's fault that they don't know. Because there is not much cause these days in modern society for men to display how much stronger they are than women, right? Ain't no way in hell you taking your ass outside to pick up a massive bale of fucking hay. You are not going to drag back the carcass of a deer to the house. You're not doing it. The vast majority of women are not strong enough to fucking do it. You do not have the stature to do it. And so women in the past were aware of this, very starkly aware of this, right? Just like men of the past were starkly aware that there was no way in hell that they could carry babies and birth babies and take care of babies as well as women could. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So the third reason that women all demand a man over 6 foot tall is because women are followers. Let me say it again. Women are followers. If that made you mad, it's probably because you are a follower. I mean, what do you want? Most women are followers. Most men are also followers. Most people are followers. Or didn't you know that? Most people allow themselves to be influenced and have their desires influenced by other people. Because human beings have walked this earth for tens of thousands of years. And a man being short has not been a problem for tens of thousands of years until the last, 10 years? When I was in high school and middle school, I don't remember boys being under 6 feet tall being a big deal. Like literally nobody gave a fuck. In the early 2000s, in the 90s, people who are older and who were born in like the 80s, the 70s, it wasn't a thing. Even in the 20th century, it wasn't a thing. But somehow, some way, and that way is social media. Women seeing other women making this standard, they just copied them. It's really that black and white. They didn't really think about it. They don't have their own preference. They just adopted another person's opinion. They allowed themselves to be influenced. They are extremely malleable. And so they have the same standards simply because other women have the same standard. And a lot of women who are followers cannot stand to be different or distinguished from other women. Like they would be so ashamed to date a man that was 5'8" and then have their girlfriends have something to say about it. But like I said in point 2, every single man is stronger than every single woman on this earth for the most part. And being a follower will do nothing but make you single. Like I'm 5'11". I feel like if anybody should be upset about not having a tall man, it should be somebody that's super tall. But at 5'11", I would date somebody that was like 5'9". And in my personal opinion, this is just based on like physique. Men in this height range, they look really good when they exercise. They can put on a lot of fucking muscle. They can get really thick like walking tree trunks. They short and they closer to the fucking ground. Their center of gravity is closer to the ground. I feel like all fighters, a lot of fighters in a lot of sports, you will notice are small statured because they can move their extremities better because they're not too fucking long. And I feel like people think that height is just good, and it's really not. I'm 5'11", and I feel like 5'11" is at the upper crust of unattractive height. Like I feel like once a woman hits 6 foot, 6'1", it starts to become unattractive. That's just my opinion. And the same for men. I feel like men can get away with being tall up until a certain point. But after like 6'3", I feel like it just goes, the attractiveness level goes down. Like men that are like 6'6", they look too fucking tall, in my opinion, as a 5'11" woman. But the reality is, at 5'11", I would date somebody that was 5'9", and it would not embarrass me. And I feel like if you are embarrassed by that, that's just your fucking low self-esteem. What do you want from me? So the fourth reason why I think prefer men that are 6 feet tall and over is because women these days have low self-esteem. So like I said in point number 3, women are followers. Most women anyway are followers. So notice how these women's standard is the exact same standard. Nobody says 5'11". Nobody says 5'10". Nobody says 5'9". Nobody says 6'1". Nobody says 6'2". They all say the exact same thing. He has to be 6 foot or over. So like I said in my third point, a lot of these women who are followers are insecure people, right? Their self-esteem hinges on how other women usually feel about the person who they are dating. And so for them, it is the biggest humiliation to be seen in public with a man that is shorter than 6 foot because they need to feel like they got some kind of prize, right? Because every other woman is vying for the same fucking prize. So they have low self-esteem, and it's called self-esteem, right? It's not called everyone else's esteem. So when women feel bad about themselves because they have to date a man that's shorter than 6 foot, it has nothing to do with the man, right? She has a fucking problem with herself. For me, how weird is that? I could not imagine choosing to date a person based on what I thought other people would think of it. And as a tall woman, I found that being a tall woman really helps to disqualify men with low self-esteem. And when I say this, I don't mean to say that every man who doesn't want to date me or date somebody who's tall has low self-esteem. I don't want to say that, but I want to say that a woman being an inch or 2 or 3 taller than you is not a fucking big deal. Why would it be a big deal? If you would say as a man, well, it makes me feel less masculine. Why the fuck does your masculinity depend on how tall a woman is? Ugh. To me, that's so unattractive. A man is a man is a man if he decides he's a fucking man. And there's nothing that I can do or any other woman can do on this earth to take your masculinity away from you or to lower it. And if a man has that kind of perception that a woman existing and being tall could, that shit is just unattractive to me. So for me, height is a good way to sift out men who have low self-esteem. Because men who are also insecure, like women who are insecure, a man who is insecure does not want to be seen in public with a woman that is taller than him. He cannot stomach it. He is humiliated. He is embarrassed. And maybe you could say, well, people might stare, people might say something. But a person who is secure in themselves doesn't give a fuck, right? They made their decision and they're going to be out in public with you. Other people can say what they want. They're not bothered by it. So that is the fourth reason why women these days seem to not want a man who is shorter than 6 foot. It's essentially just social media influence bullshit. And so since I'm a tall woman, I want to give advice to any man that has to deal with this bullshit. So my first piece of advice is consider this little standard that a woman has as a disqualifying factor. So if you are a man and you are shorter than 6 foot, if I met a woman and she was like, I only date men that are 6 foot tall and over, I would just walk away. I would consider that a positive thing because it tells me that she is stupid. She doesn't think for herself, clearly, because like I said, they all say the same shit verbatim. Nobody says 5'11". Nobody says 6'1". They say 6 foot because they're followers. It tells me that she is insecure and she has low self-esteem. And so you have to understand, women who engage in behaviors of following the herd and following other women, they will continue to do that. They'll continue to do that when they get in a relationship. They'll continue to do it when they get married and when they have kids. They will always have to follow what other people are doing. These are the women who buy shit that they can't afford to show off on social media, right? They put up pictures of their happy family when their fucking marriage is in turmoil, right? So I would consider it a positive thing. If a woman says some shit like that to me, I'd be like, okay, and I would just walk away. And so I'm sure people will hear that and say, well, Cosmic Nebula, in that way, that means I have to walk away from a bunch of women. So what? You have to walk away from a bunch of women. So what? When you date, are you not just looking for one person? I don't understand why people need so much fucking validation from everybody. That's another thing that I don't like about a lot of men. If I meet a man and he needs validation from every woman he meets, or if he needs validation from a lot of women, I don't want to talk to him. I'm instantly not interested in him. I know that a lot of women prefer men who other women want. Like, I know that that's a thing. I recognize that that is a thing. But to be honest, I would never be more attracted to a man just because other women wanted him. Like, I wouldn't. I'm not saying, I don't know why that is, but that's just who I am. Like, if I like you, I like you. If I don't, I don't. If other people happen to like you and I like you, that would be fine. But I'm not going to like you more just because other women like you. I'm just not influenceable like that. I'm a very low influenceability person. And so it seems to me that men like that are always insecure. This is why I don't like fuckboys. This is why I don't like promiscuous men, because promiscuous men are by nature insecure people. They need to have sex with a bunch of women to feel good about themselves as people, right? To feel like they accomplished something. But I feel like a man who is masculine and who is a goddamn man has more productive things to do with his life, and he doesn't let it revolve around getting validation from a bunch of random ass women who are probably insecure and who are probably stupid. I don't care how pretty they are. That is my opinion when it comes to the whole 6 foot and over bullshit. I want to hear your opinion in the comments down below. How tall are you? Why do you want specifically a man over 6 foot? Why is it that so many women are unaware? As a woman, do you feel like you are unaware of how much stronger males are than you are? So I feel like we live in this time right now where women are given this idea or socialized to believe that they can just manifest certain things that are just biological fucking reality. A man being stronger than you is biological reality. No amount of working hard, working out, no amount of rah, 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 I'm a girl, no amount of feminism, no amount of anything can erode that, right? Y'all have to understand that shit. Because every single man on this earth that is post-puberty is stronger than you and more than likely taller than you. And so you can still get you a tall man and you can still wear high heels, and he does not indeed need to be 6 feet tall, you goofy clown.